Hey everyone, Ian here at AbelCine in Burbank. Today I'm doing a tour of the Sony FS7 with accessories I like to use for different types of shooting scenarios. Today I'm going to go through scenarios where you're going to do handheld and sticks as well. So to start off, I'm going to use the Zacuto Graticle. The Graticle solves a couple of challenges for me that allow me to shoot with this camera and log and do it seamlessly. Because there's situations where you want to be able to apply a LUT to a log signal that is outbound from the camera. Well, if I apply the LUT in the FS7, that's not going to give me the ability to look at the waveform on the viewfinder. So this solves a big problem for me where I can take a log signal into it. I can apply the LUT to the outbound signal and be able to evaluate and set my exposure with a very nice waveform monitor that's built into this. It has nice crisp markings on it, so I know exactly where I am in terms of my exposure for my highlights, my midtones. I can also see what's going on with my shadows. And it allows me to do that stuff very quickly and easily, which is absolute essential when you're doing run and gun with log photography. In addition, it just has really nice amenities built into it. It has a nice big diopter ring here, get nice sharp focus, easy to negotiate menus, and we have all these function keys on the side of it. All this stuff really nicely thought out. It's made to work fast and it's easy. You don't have to struggle with this thing. You can just set it up the way you like it and off you go. And I have it attached to the camera using the Axis Mini. The Axis Mini gives me 4 points of adjustment on here, and everything is nice and big. It's sturdy, so if you're wearing gloves, it's easy to do it. And in terms of power, I could use the batteries that come with it. These are DSLR type batteries. I have opted actually to put a Switchtronics accessory on this because what this allows me to do is with this adapter cable, it goes back to a D-tap, and I'm going to put that into my distribution box. We'll talk about the distribution box in just a moment, but the convenience of this is now one battery is running the camera. It's also running the Graticle. So less batteries and more runtime. For the combination of handheld work and for the lock-off on sticks, I have a bundle from Shape attached to the FS7. This is the one they make for the FS7. And it has all the amenities that we've come to know from Shape. And so on this side, we have the support arm with the usual push-button adjustability that we've come to know from Shape, and in addition a few other little niceties. On their extension here, there is a line that goes to markings, so we know where we locked it off. Perhaps we had to change around different operators. We have a reference back to where we started, and the bottom plate here that the camera attaches to has built-in rosettes, so we can have an adjustment here, 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 and here. Lots of flexibility. 15mm lightweight rod adapter. This platform right here is adjustable up and down, so we can match it to any type of matte box lens combination that we might have on the camera. 15mm rods off the back so that we could put battery systems, counterbalances, what have you. And again, this clips in and out very quickly. It's a standard E&G touch and go type of arrangement. On this side, we have an arm that is built specifically for the FS7 hand grip. So again, we have lots of different ways of adjusting this to different situations. And what I really like about this is you have this built-in section right here that allows you to trombone in and out. And in addition, we have the usual adjustment points that we had on the other side. So we have the push in and go right here, and we have the built-in rosette with the lockdown. For today's build, I'm using the Zacuto Graticle as my viewfinder, so that leaves me with the viewfinder that comes with the FS7. I can repurpose it. So what I've done is I've installed a top plate from Shape, and I'm using a Zacuto Xicro Mini. This is a little clamp that has been attached to the top plate, and now it allows me to position this back towards the end of the camera, and it is giving me a constant status of different settings for the camera. Now, it may be a little bit overkill for this particular build if I have Odyssey running here, but still I think it's really nice to have this regardless at the back of the camera, so a camera assistant, other people can very quickly and easily see the composition, but also see all the statuses of the camera. On most compact camcorders, we expect to have XLR3 for the audio input, and the traditional inputs would be mic level, phantom 48, and line level. Well, on the FS7, things are a little different, and I've taken advantage of that. I've turned my viewfinder around to face you, and you can see that I have 4 discrete channels of audio being displayed for you. And the way that I'm doing that is at the top here, I have a Sony wireless receiver. This is a URX PO3, and it is connected to an accessory known as a SMAD P3. This is connecting to the receiver, and it is carrying 2 channels of audio into the camera. Now, I'll do a cutaway to my viewfinder here, and you can tell on the status page how I routed this, but essentially tracks 3 and 4 can be allocated to the shoe. So I now have 2 tracks of audio from there. In addition, I have my Rode mic here, and I'm feeding that into my sound devices Mix Pre-D, and I'm getting 2 line levels into the camera through the XLR3s, give me a total of 4 channels of discrete audio. For this build, I wanted to do some raw files, so I have attached the Odyssey recorder from Convergent Design. The Odyssey has always been a very feature-rich recorder for raw or log photography, and it has great tools to evaluate your exposure, for focus. On top of that, it's a high-resolution OLED display, so great value in the Odyssey, and it just gets better with firmware updates. Now we have specific LUTs for different types of log, and we also have the ability to load our own LUTs in. And what a LUT is a lookup table. Essentially what it's doing is it's taking the wide dynamic range that's captured by either raw or log photography and remaps it so that it is suitable for broadcast. So if you notice right now, I have a log image up on here, and literally with a touch of a button, I can now see a conversion to Rec. 709. I've got the FS7 with the extension unit facing you to talk about power solutions. The extension unit is mandatory if I'm going to record raw files. You also need it if you want to record ProRes to the internal XQD media. For this purposes, I want to just talk about power distribution for just a minute because I have a Gradical and I've got my Convergent Design Odyssey recorder. And in order to power all these things, I am going to use a breakout box. This is called a D box. It is from Wooden Camera. What I like about this box so much is that it is fully customizable. In other words, all these connections are held in by 4 small Phillips head screws, and you can build this or build the connections to suit your needs, what you own. So this goes on just onto the V-lock, and now I'm ready to start plugging stuff in. So I'll put my power up my Gradical here. The other feature very handy about this, on the side here, if you were to blow a fuse, this panel unscrews with these 2 tie downs, and you can change your fuse in minutes. To top it off, I'm going to use a IDX Endura Q battery. As you can see, very thin, very lightweight, 73 watt-hours of power. And in addition, if I didn't have the distribution box, I still had the option of drawing accessory power off the battery itself with a D-tap connector. So with the combination of these, it'd be pretty hard to run out of powering solutions. That concludes our tour of the camera build of the Sony FS7. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.